It's been a while since we've been able to get our act together.
It has been a while.
And do one of these, or one of our true cornerstone podcast story episodes.
Our true old school OG story episodes from the archives.
Yeah.
with actual raw audio going back a while.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, we've been waiting a long time.
We have been waiting a long time for this one.
It's been in the can for quite some time, but we just hadn't been able to get to this part yet. So yes, here we are.
The intro and the discussion part.
Yes. So here we are.
Here we are.
But what do you, we wanted to quickly, because it has been a while, talk about, in case you haven't listened to our podcast before, or you haven't seen us before on YouTube, or you haven't gone back and listened to any of the older episodes, what was our podcast based on?
Our podcast was based upon our personal recordings. When Myrina and I first got in the lifestyle, we realized that something very momentous was happening for us individually, but also as a couple, and that something really important was happening in our relationship. And so we wanted to make sure that we remembered what we were doing and had discussions about what we were doing constantly. And so at some point I thought, you know what, let's record these discussions so that we have them for our own archival purposes. I'm kind of a historian, and I like to be able to, go back and revisit things in great detail, as evidenced by my outlines and my notes on my phone and everything that that I'm constantly kind of archiving. And I got the idea from a podcast called Swinger Diaries that is no longer available, that I don't think you can find anywhere, but they would do like this dear diary of their lifestyle experiences. And so I said, well, let's do that for us, just for us. And so that's what we did. And that's what we started. And so the result of that is just scores and scores of hours of us just talking to each other in our car. Or on the way back from a party, from a date, from an event, from wherever, or
sometimes heading to it.
Yeah, a lot of times too. And so when COVID started, we realized, actually we had started planning this before COVID started, but we realized that we have this like gold mine of really raw and really personal information and really personal recordings with us that might be a good scaffolding and backbone for a podcast if we clean it up a little bit.
Right.
Which is what we have done for the prior episodes, and what we're going to do for this episode as well.
So we took that raw audio to be able to share how we listened and thought we were prepared for all of the mistakes and things that you might make in the lifestyle when you're first starting out, and we screwed a lot of it up. And those recordings are our real-time raw debriefing and tearing apart what happened, what went wrong, what went well, what we liked, what we didn't like. And then you're kind of in the car with us when you're listening to those stories. So you get to hear it, and it can be pretty raw.
Yeah.
It can be super fun. It can be uncomfortable. But we really thought it was important to be able to show, because everybody's going to make mistakes. It doesn't matter how well prepared you are for being in the lifestyle, how much you think things won't rattle you, how much you think it's going to be smooth sailing. It's not. Something will happen and mistakes will be made. And most of the time, it's not out of spite.
It's never out of spite.
On purpose, or to hurt somebody, or out of malice.
It's typically because I was dumb or I followed my deck. Usually one of those two things.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So we talk about those things, and we dissect them, and we talk about how we handled the emotions before, during, and after, and we share that with everybody. And the theory is not that you would then listen to this and go, oh, we are not going to have these problems either, or, oh, we're going to handle this just like Myrina and Tristan did because they handled it fine at the end. The idea is so that you know that the problems are going to happen, and that maybe you can stop and say, I do remember when Myrina and Tristan went through something like this. Let's listen to that, or let's talk about that, or maybe it helps you frame what you need to talk to with your partner about. So,
and another very important piece of this is when we go back and listen to audio like tonight, which is a few years old, we're listening to it within the context of our greater lifestyle experience now, and so we're able to give our perspective going back. And so when we go into this raw audio, for example, you and I are going to be taking notes, and we're going to be,
Right.
thinking about, wow, how is that for us now? So, and that's what we do in all of our episodes. But, it's a great perspective for us now as more seasoned lifestyle veterans, I would say, to be able to say, oh, yeah, well, no wonder that went poorly. But
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a great perspective that we can share with everybody.
Right. And any of our story episodes are like this.
Exactly.
Yeah. We do some interviews. We have some interview episodes and a lot of traveling episodes lately and things like that. But these are our story episodes, and this is where we started. And so we wanted to continue on with these. We still have quite a few more to go to share, and stories that are important and relevant and even current, today and things that are happening today or moving forward. So anyway, so we're very excited to share this with you, but we wanted to kind of explain to everybody in case you haven't heard from us in a while, or in case you haven't heard our earlier episodes, that is what they not entangle. That is what they entail. That's the word I was looking for. Yes.
There might be some entanglements as well.
There is actually a lot in this episode. There's a lot of entanglement, and we're going to get to that. So let's just talk about it. Let's just go straight into talking about what this particular episode was about.
Absolutely. So this was our very first house party that we ever went to. And
big house party.
It was a very big house party, and it was too big, actually, in hindsight. Now that we know better,
us at the time, yeah.
Well, no, actually, for us now, it would be too big. It was packed. It was a 2-level house, I think 3 or 4 bedrooms, and it was just wall to wall people. Way too many people for a house party, at least in our estimation now.
I think when we talked to them afterwards, it was over 100 people in their house,
and they agreed that there were too many people.
It got a little large.
Yeah, it was very large. So at times it was a little not unruly, but just difficult to maneuver, difficult to manage, difficult to find bed space, just you name it. And there were just too many people there. So that was our introduction, and it was so overwhelming for us that and I think we talk about this in the raw audio, we were really going to bail. Right. And we wanted to leave, and we were looking for other options. You were texting with somebody, which will come up in the raw audio. Luckily, we didn't. Mm-hmm. We went ahead and said, all right, well, let's at least go upstairs and see what's going on. So what this was
yeah, go ahead. Sorry. So
this was what was billed as a greedy girl party, meaning for women who like to have more than one man simultaneously. And so in this particular party, we talk about the ratio a little bit in the raw audio, but I mean, there were probably 15 or 20 more men. So when you count for couples and then single guys, the ratio was, I don't know, like maybe 3 to 2 men to women. I'm not sure. It wasn't like double, but
you don't think so?
I'm not sure.
I felt like it was a lot. I felt like there was, like, if there were, and again, you just don't know because you can't.
Yeah.
We will never know the numbers. It seemed like there were twice as much men as there were women. And so I felt like it was 2 to 1. Like I felt like if there were
but you know what, actually
30 couples, there might have been 30 extra single guys.
In the upstairs area, that probably is more than true because a lot of the women didn't even come upstairs. They just kind of hung out downstairs and talked to one another. And so
it was. So I don't want to go into it too much because we'll talk about it more when we come out. But I do want to say that in this one, because I'm not sure if we really, and we might, because we're going to listen to the audio when it comes on for you guys too right now as well. But I think we didn't say as clearly, but we were really leaving. We were on our way out the door. Walking out the door to leave. We had gone out on the back patio. I had talked to a couple of gentlemen, one in particular. He does show up in the story. But I had talked to a couple of people, but it wasn't, I was very uncomfortable. It was overwhelming, and we'd gone out onto the back porch just to kind of have a moment together to talk.
And to get cell service also.
Yeah, that's right, to get cell service, because we were trying to plan a backup date. I think we do talk about it. So that, to explain it a little bit, we were just not comfortable there, and we had a friend that lived not too far away, and our idea was that if he was home, let's go have a 3-way with him because we enjoyed playing with him a lot.
So we could salvage the night.
Yeah, so we could salvage the night. So we were literally getting ready to walk out the door, and I think I said, we should just go upstairs to see what it's like, and then we'll leave. So at least we can say we saw it, and then we could talk about it educatedly. like what we saw, and then we could leave because we weren't interested.
Right.
But I say, let's play the audio.